Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this call. And tonight we talk about crypto. We talk about what's happening in the market currently. And our topic for tonight is what next with crypto, a time to reflect. And to get to that, let us introduce the team to you. And our subject matter expert in crypto, Jason Ashington, will be on the call. And you will come and just help us understand what's happening in the market. And Jason, please hello to the team.
Very, very sad.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, you actually sounded like the market tonight, son, buddy. It's not every day that we get it right to sound like the market, eh?
Yeah, I don't feel like an expert at all. 2 weeks ago, when were we last on the crypto talk? I think it was 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago, buddy.
Yeah, at that stage, the market was looking very bullish. The charts were telling us that we were going up. And in the last week and a half, looks like the wheels have fallen off. But nonetheless, one chart that's still showing us there is possibly a bit of a positivity towards crypto on the charts. We know the fundamentals are still positive. But there's one chart that's showing us that there is possibly a reversal in the near future, I should say. Yeah, we'll go through the charts just now.
Cool, thank you, Jason. And at least you've dangled that carrot. We will stay on because we want to see that one chart, that one possibility. Eh? Next on the call to say hello tonight is the young gun, our crypto trader that started with crypto just over a year and a half ago. And Andre, please hello to the team.
Hi guys. Yeah, hopefully I don't sound as the market is going now, but yeah, welcome guys. I hope you're not on antidepressants. I don't know if I even said the word right, but anyways, yeah, I hope we have a great evening together.
Thank you, Andre. So you say we should not be on antidepressants, we should be on omnipresents.
Yes.
Where are you going with that? Last but not least, we're not at the grandpa yet. We're at Marius Adams. And Marius Adams is the crypto wealth coach at the crypto school, and he's busy doing day trading. And I would love to hear, that's the wrong button. And I would love to hear what's happening on that front later. But Marius, for now, just hello to the team.
Yes, Daniel, it's all red at my side as well. It's the only red that I can get. Luckily, we've been through this all these years. And we know that the crypto market will go up. But at this stage, it is the short term, it's very sore because I am stuck in a few coins. And what I love about crypto is when the price goes down, you don't lose money except when you sell. Let's see what's happening tonight. Maybe I must sell a few coins and buy in a bit low. Let's see what's happening.
Cool. Yes. Thank you, Marius. And you spent last weekend on the Drakensberg. You are fresh back from a nice hike, but fortunately it's a week ago, so you're nice. And I see in the chat box, Stephen Bard will say it's good to be. Hello, Stephen. Bridget. Ed. Hello, Ed. Yes, it's good to see your name again on the system. We have not been here for 3 or 4 weeks. It's amazing that at last we had a Monday again. That's an actual Monday. And we have a week that's going to be 5 days. Now, I don't want to say something about that now because it might just become a long week. But let that be as it may. Jason, start with that good news. Show us what you've seen in the charts. Don't show us what's in the teacup. Show us what's in the charts. And let's just see where we're at with crypto. What's the status quo?
Okay, so I'm going to first go and have a look at the Fear and Greed Index. And this measures the sentiment in the market, in the retail market, and you can see that the number sitting at 11, which represents extreme fear. Retailers out there are definitely joining this party currently, and you can see if we go back into history where we got down to these, we're currently down the bottom here at 11. And previously, you can see where we've got down to these levels. And Andre is going to be sharing with us just now on his chart where we were at these levels previously, where Bitcoin was. But once we get down to these levels, you see what happens. Market turns, tends to go back up again. But right now, we don't know where the bottom is, unfortunately. Market is still trending down. And if we have a look at Bitcoin here, we can see that if we go on to the 3-day chart, we're in this falling wedge formation from August last year. And this falling wedge formation normally results in a 68% chance of a break to the upside. But you can see we've been trending now down since the end of March. We go and look at the weekly, a lot of traders are pointing this out that we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're now on the 7th red candle, weekly candle. And normally we might have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, and then we have a green candle in between. But we're now on the 7th red candle down, which is sure totally unusual, and looks like we're very close to a bounce area. If we look for areas of support, you can see if we go to January last year, and if you remember in May last year, June, July, we also went down to these areas here of around about 29,400. So there is a possibility of a bounce in this area. If we go onto the daily and just have a look at that same area there in last year, you can see there is other candles that went a bit higher than we are currently at the moment, 31,000. So we're in an area of very strong support, even though that we're trending down. Now, what is happening here is that the Bitcoin and crypto market is tracking the stock market in the USA, and we've seen the dismal news that's coming out of the USA in the last week around inflation numbers and how the economy is shrinking and is really in a bad way. And if we go and have a look at the S&P 500 that we are tracking quite closely, you can see a similar feature where we got on the weekly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red candles to the downside. So stock markets, same picture, and crypto's following this S&P 500 and NASDAQ very, very closely. But I'm using the S&P for guidance. Now, I've marked out here, so we've been in this formation, falling formation since the end of December, and it's a descending megaphone formation. And you can see here that we've got some support here at 3975 and 3920, and it looks like we are tracking down there towards that support area. And I think we're going to get a bounce fairly soon in this stock market. As I say, we've been tracking down for a hell of a lot. We're in overbought areas right now, and we are due for a bounce. If we have a look at USDT dominance, that has hit an all-time high. We go right back to when USDT started in 2018, right down the bottom. They have been minting USDT on an ongoing basis. So the chart will always look like it's trending up, but you can see that we hit an all-time high. But if we go and look at the smaller time frames here, we are seeing a bit of bearish divergence on the USDT. Let's just go to, I think it was a 4-hour, sure, I saw it this morning. It was, yeah, it looks like it's bearish is not there anymore. It's actually tracked up. But we're in an area right now where we're definitely on an overbought area in USDT. You see we're right at the top there. It can stay up there for a while. But as I say, I think we're very close to a bit of a relief bounce. Now, what I showed the guys this morning is that if we have a look at the chart called the CME futures, and now the CME futures, the reason why we track this chart is that a lot of the institutions trade on this exchange, and they trade futures, and this exchange only trades from a Monday to a Friday. But we know the rest of the crypto market trades 24/7. So there are times where the CME exchange closes on the Friday, it reopens on a Monday, and there's a gap in the price where it closed on the Friday, opened on the Monday. Now, this happened this past weekend, where on Friday we closed at 36, and we opened this morning at 34. Now, these gaps tend to get closed quite quickly, normally in the first couple of days of the week. So my thinking is that we are going to be closing this gap in the next couple of days with that relief bounce. And if we go into higher time frames here, we have been in a falling sort of wedge pattern from the 18th of April that we broke through on the 5th of May. And we should come back up to retest this area here around about 37 to 37,500 when we move back up here. And 37,500, you can see there has been previous support in this area, 37,500. And that is now going to be resistance. So when we move back up here, this is a level of high resistance, 37,500, and that would actually close this gap here on the CME and go up and retest this area around here where we broke to the downside. So that is what I'm seeing here on the sort of next day or two. There's a bounce and a relief bounce to the upside. The chart that I did want to show you, and it's a chart that we've been looking at for a couple of weeks now, and that is the DXY. Now, the reason why we look at this chart is if we go on to the weekly and we just have a look at cases previously where we had the DXY weakening, and we can have a look at a case here in the beginning of January 2017, where we dropped over a period of 12 months. And if you remember, in 2017, we had a massive bull run in crypto. And another case was in the beginning of 2020, where it dropped all the way down into 2021. And once again, we had a bull run in crypto there. Now, we want to see the DXY weaken in order for the crypto markets to turn around and start trending up again. So if we go and look here on the daily, and I've marked out those previous highs that we had here in the beginning of 2017 and the high here in March 2020, and those are those yellow lines there. We have a look here in the last sort of 24 hours, we have tried to go up and break it. It has got rejected at about, what time was it? 11 o'clock today. You see, we got rejected, pushing down again. So the more time it spends in this area, it's getting weaker, and hopefully we're going to see a drop fairly in the next couple of days, next week or two, a drop in this DXY to the downside. If we look on the daily and the RSI is not confirming this bullish move that we've seen here in the last day or two. You can see we had a high RSI on the 28th of April compared to now, yet on the 28th of April, the price was lower than what was today. So this is a bearish divergence pointing down. And it has been bearish for quite a while. We are hoping that this DXY is going to start weakening now and start pushing to the downside, so we can get a decent relief bounce in crypto in the next couple of days. Yeah, it's hard to pinpoint where exactly, Bitcoin's going to find proper support. But as I showed you, the areas are definitely around where we are now, between 31 and down to now 29,402, and even possibly come down a bit lower. Let's just have a look here in May last year, where that candle was. That bottom candle came down to 28,900. That was on the 22nd of June. So yeah, hopefully we're going to find support in this area. The sentiment is bearish out there. The market does tend to go opposite to what the sentiment is. So we are hoping that we're going to get a bounce, as I say, very, very shortly. That's it from our side, Donnie.
Cool. Thank you, Jason. And that bounce will be a dead cat bounce. Because the old saying is that even if you throw a dead cat off a building, it will bounce. So maybe the market will do the dead cat bounce and we will get a bit of a bounce. But at the moment, it is not an easy place to be. It is not the best place to be. And I should have taken all my crypto out in October last year. I should have taken all my money out of crypto, not being in my portfolio. And we have many such stories in our community. And so thank you, Jason, for sharing that with us, as we need that info with regards to that in our community. And Jason, wrap up, tell us the last little bit that you would like to add there to the market before we go to the young gun to hear what he learned in the past week. I can see he sit there, well, 4 weeks. He's got 4 weeks of learning to come and share with us. I see he's grabbing at his last cup of coffee, and you grabbing at straws to find some positivity in the market, and we're forever thankful for that. But please, Jason, wrap up what you told us about the market.
Yeah, Donnie, I think if we ever look at in the last month, the amount of Bitcoin that was leaving exchanges, that was a very positive sign around a move up. And there has been some Bitcoin coming back to exchanges in the last week, but nowhere near the amount of Bitcoin that was leaving exchanges a couple of weeks ago, going to cold wallets. And even Michael Saylor at around about 44,000 was taking loans and buying more Bitcoin. So I think that we are definitely going to find a bounce soon and start moving up. That is just my personal view. Yeah. Very difficult we haven't got a crystal ball, but my gut is telling me that we're going to move up.
Cool. Thank you, Jason. And my gut is trying its utmost best to follow your advice at the moment. And we trust that move up is going to happen. Andre, come on, young man, young gun, share with us. Tell us what you've learned in the last 4 weeks for us to go and do better and be better at what we're doing.
Yeah, guys, what a few weeks it was. It was crazy. I've mostly been busy like back testing strategies and stuff and getting angry at the market because it's not nice with me. But yeah, first of all, guys, again, emotions is the most important thing to handle, and I know it can get tough here, but yeah, hopefully you guys are okay and everything is going well. So first of all, because I want to share something regarding the market. But okay, first of all, like I like trading, like investing, but mostly I like trading more. Investing is boring. So yeah, what I do is something I got that is new. I'm just gonna make my screen a bit bigger and I'll quickly share my screen. When I trade, I usually make a lot of lists, and I'll quickly show it to you guys. I'll just share my screen before I show this website. So you can see, if I open this, I have a lot of lists. You can see there, it's crazy. So I have a lot of lists. I love using my lists and stuff and trading with that in the market. But I usually go to CoinGecko. So what I do is I go to CoinGecko and I go to categories, and I'm not finished yet. So I actually go to every single category there is. For instance, Polygon ecosystem. So I go into there, then I go to every single coin there is, and I type in that on every list. I type in that and I have a list, Polygon ecosystems. So I do that with my lists, but it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time. But there is a nice site, and they don't have a lot of lists, but here is a site called sandwich.finance. And they actually have a few watch lists in place for you. For instance, you just trade on Binance, or you just trade on FTX or KuCoin or Huobi. I don't know if I say correctly even. But there's a few exchanges here which you
I would
just
like you to say that Polony X name.
Wait, sorry, what? Polony X. Is it
No, I just wanted you to say Polony X. I wanted to, yeah, we need some Polony. We need something that's threatening.
Yeah, Polony is not killing us anymore, so I think we are good to go. Yeah, they just went and nothing happened with that. Anyways, so you can actually come and download your list. So you can click here, for instance, FTX All Markets. So you click there, and then it should take you to a site, and you can actually download that, and then you can just import that to your TradingView. And I'm not gonna do that. Let me just do that. So I save that to my downloads. Now I go to TradingView. So just make this a bit smaller because I can't see my stuff here. Okay, so now when you click there at the top right at the three dots, then you click import list, and I hope I'm going slow enough. And then you can see there's my downloads. Just click on that, open, and now FTX should be somewhere within all the thousands. There we go. There's FTX markets. So there is all the coins on FTX that they currently have. And as easy as that, then you don't have to go through CoinGecko and type in every single coin. Yeah, that is that I learned actually, and I learned it from a guy on Discord. He showed it to me. But I want to show something to you guys, and Jason shared about that a little bit. But this is the fear and greed, and if you go take this just 1 month, you can see we are at the low of 11, and we don't really go to 11 a lot, or below 11. And if you go to 1 year, you can see that is 11, and we didn't go there a lot. And I went and I used Max, and I played with this a bit earlier, just before the show started. And I went here, and this is obviously not all of them, but I took as many as I can. And all of those white lines is where we were at fear and greed of 11. And one thing that I want to show, what I want you guys to notice is, like, I trade with RSI and divergences a lot. Everybody that knows me know I love trading with divergences. But one thing I want to show you guys before I start showing this is, you can see everywhere where that blue box is, that is where we didn't have a divergence. You can see, and I'm not going to show it too clearly, but you can see we made the higher lows, and on the RSI we also made higher lows. So there wasn't even divergences. And same here, but we went lower. So we went here, that was a low in, just move this, that was in March 2020, that COVID drop. We had that low there without divergences, and boom, then we went on. There, I moved my fib. So then we went on. So divergences isn't always necessary for the market to move. And sorry, this is going to be super small, so I'm going to just add this up. So this was the low in 2015. And you can see we also didn't have a divergence there. We didn't have a divergence. And then we had the first like crazy bull market. So that's out of the way now. And now you can see we are at the low of 11. And then we went, this was after 2017, we went to this low, and we went to the 618, sorry, and this is going to be a bit crazy if you're new. So I always use my fib tools. You can go and watch a bit how I use my fib tools. So that was the low there, and it's really small now. And guys, this can be the market. Like, we are probably like sitting there, and that can be Bitcoin. So we only see that's happening there currently. But this can be maybe there in the, like, if in 5 years time or 10 years time, we can see we were actually there, and we worry about that small percentage drop. But anyways, so you can see that was the low, and I showed Jason, once we hit that 618 zone, we retraced, and then we went to the 382 area before we went down. And I'm not telling you guys, okay, this is the low now, and we're gonna go to the moon now. I'm not saying that. We can maybe even go lower, and I'll show you guys now. But we went to the 618 area, and then retraced to the 382 area. Sorry. So that was the low there. Then we had this low with the divergence, and then we went upwards. Here we had at 11, and there's 11 again, but we went downwards again. So we did see some upwards movement, but not a lot. But then we went down again. There we were at 11 or below 11, the fear and greed, no divergence, and then we went upwards like crazy. But what I want you guys to notice is most of the times we were below 11, then we saw upwards movement. Like there we didn't see upward movement really, and there we saw a lot of upwards, But like that was a lot of upwards movement. That was like crazy. Here we were at 11, 11, 11. That was the lows. Crazy bull upwards. And there we went at 11. We went lower and now we're at 11 currently. And one thing that I want to show you guys again is the FIB tool is brilliant. I use it always, and I never want to invest in a coin unless we are inside this golden zone, they call it. And I took the low from there and the high from there because we didn't actually get the 618 in this area. We went just above that. And you can say that maybe maybe above that is the 618, or they just didn't want to give it to you. But I still believe below the 618, and sorry I jump a lot, but if you see, and this is maybe you can think about scary. So in this drop here with this bull market in 2017, you can see we went to the 618, retraced, and then we went a long period and we went to the 786 and 887 zone. We went just above the 887 zone, and that's crazy. And this didn't even make a high, but you can see in this small bull market we went to the 618, retraced, and then went back to the 786 area again. So it's not impossible for us to go to the 786 area. And that is, I told them in the beginning, if you can get to that area, I'm going to sell Dani's car and buy Bitcoin for myself. At the 618 area, I might sell my own car, but at 786, I'm going to sell Dani's car. Anyways, so guys, that is what I wanted to show. And we are super close to that 618 area. Oh, that was a bit weird. If you open up here, we can see we are dropping now currently, and we can see 7.10%, then we touch our 618 area. So that's really bullish for me. Bearish, but bullish for me. But one thing, guys, don't catch a fallen knife. Yeah, don't just go and buy everything now. Like I said, we can maybe even go a bit lower. And with this, within the 618 and 786 drop, that is 38%. So that's still a bit scary. But like I said, in the longer run, that's nothing. And okay, now something bullish. Okay, something bullish. On the weekly, I want to show you guys something, and I'm going to make this RSI a bit bigger. So here you can see I have this yellow lines, and I'm going to make this a lot bigger. So here we were at the low. Here was the lowest where the RSI ever went on the weekly. Okay, so there was the lowest the RSI ever went on the weekly, and that was in January 2015. So I put in the lines here, the horizontal lines, and then we had a low here. We had the low here where it also was below 11, and you can see here we had that low there, but we went higher. Well, we made a high, and then we didn't make a lower low before that. So everywhere you can see we actually didn't make a lower low, because we didn't make a lower low there. And now, and I'm going to delete this one because that's a daily now, and you can see, I hope you guys can see it, but that is where we are now. We are super close to that previous low. So for me, this is really bullish, guys. Why do you want to sell when you are at the bottom? And I'm not saying keep everything, because you have to decide I don't know. Everybody trades on their own, and they have a different strategy. Because for me, I'm young. I don't have a family. I don't have a lot of risks. Like, I don't have kids and stuff like that. That depends on me. So for me, my risks isn't as high, and I'm not gonna give any names here. So my risks isn't so high. So I don't really mind waiting this long. I don't really mind, but this is really bullish for me, guys. Super, super bullish. Yeah, that was what I wanted to say. I don't know if there's questions, or Dani or Jason. Maybe Jason, you want to add something. But yeah. Oh, and one thing I want you guys to notice is we are super close, and I'm just gonna put in a line here. We are close to this area here. That was the lows. Like, we went there, low, boom, and then we went. And we are really close to that area. And like I said to Jason, I think if we're going to hit the 618, you can see it's just below that wick. And a lot of people have stop losses there. Like that, there's a crazy amount of stop losses here and no support. Here's the only place that is maybe there. If you go to the daily, there somewhere is a bit support. But if you look at the weekly, there is support. If you're going to go below that stop losses, it's going to go, I think it's going to go a bit crazy there. So don't stress, guys. Yeah, don't take profit on the downside, take profit on the upward side. Okay, anyways, Jason, it's the floor is yours to say I'm crazy or whatever you want to say.
You're crazy.
Whatever you want to say.
Whatever you want to say.
Jason, you won't know how much I had to pay him to come up with something positive tonight.
I'll see that. So if we just have a look at the total market cap for crypto, this morning we were up above 1.5 trillion. And I thought we were going to find support at 1.5. You can see how it's been very strong support previously, but we have gone through there, unfortunately. And currently at 1.39. The next support down is at, Andre mentioned the 7% down, which will bring us down to 1.25. And you can see where it was support here in July last year. We could be coming down to retest this level again. And that's also acting as a supporter. But if we just look at time and just go back to May 2020 and just have a look at what the market cap was then, you can see we're at 220 billion. Today we're at 1.4 trillion. Now it just shows you, what this market has done in the space of 2 years. And we mustn't get caught up in these smaller time frames. Andre alluded, a small drop like this in 2 years' time is going to look like nothing. And just look what a small drop looked like, big drop in those days in like August 2020. And look how small it is now. So yeah, sometimes we have to zoom out on the weekly and just have a reflect and show and have a look at what the chart is showing us here. I think in 2 years' time, this chart is going to be, as I say, is looking very, very small. This drop is going to be looking very small.
I agree. Whenever you zoom out, you always see that where we're at the moment, if you go back in similar previous times, that's just a blip on the chart. But while you're in that blip, there's a lot of pain going with it. So yeah, thank you, Jason. And thank you, Andre, for that amazing work that you've done there to go and look at the market to that extent. And we really appreciate that you just come openly share that, all that work that you've done, share it with us, and anyone can just copy and go use that. And thank you for that. But before we forget about him, let's go back to our crypto wealth coach, Marius. Please give us some positive news there on the table.
Yes, Daniel, thank you. I just want to read something that Peter Goosen yesterday said on our community. In the current bear market situation, it's time to work and rework your strategies and write them down. And I can see exactly what Andre is busy doing now, making his list and writing down. So use the time to focus on your self-education, your portfolio balance, the time period of your investments, and ways to increase your income in crypto world by staking and doing other stuff. Also look at ways to increase your income generation outside of the crypto world when you have then more dollars or ZAR to reinvest into cryptos. That is always my thinking is that we have to educate on a daily basis, to do some extra workshops. There's a lot of free workshops on the crypto school. When I started with a new person, I tell him, listen, go and do the first 2 workshops of the crypto school, and then go through all the videos. And then after you did that, you can come and see me again. So your self-education is the most important thing. And I'm super proud of Andre and also of Jason. When I met Jason a few years ago, he's not the same Jason as I know now, because he's got a wealth of knowledge just because he educated himself in the crypto world. And that is the most important thing, guys. So use this time to go and educate yourself. Thanks for that, Daniel.
Oh, thank you, Marius. Much appreciated. And so let's round robin and give our thoughts on where we're at and where we're going. What should we go and do? And let's start with a young gun and say, I see that he unmuted, so he cannot wait. He's got something there to share. But Jason, Andre, in sharing what you want to share, please also just your last thoughts for the evening.
Yeah, guys. So trading, like everybody knows, can be really weird. Like it's hard to do. It like if you do charting and stuff like that, it basically just minimizes or make your risks better. Like it's just risk management. But one thing, and I actually there was a couple of people that like really I spoke to them a lot, and they just want the US dollars. They just want it to be in the market and stuff. And I was like, guys, you can't buy crypto now at that high point because it's gonna go to everything goes to the 618 area. Like it always goes there. It doesn't go just up in the straight line. It must retrace and just reset the RSI and everything again. Then it can go upwards. And it was exactly at that time where everybody knows about Plan B. He called 38 or whatever, and it went to there at the end of the month, and it went exactly where he said, where predicted with that chart of his every single time. And I spoke to that people, and the woman actually she told me, but I'm just gonna buy now because Bitcoin is gonna go to 100K at the end of the month. And I was like, I told her, the thing is with market makers, we are trading with and against institutions, and what they do is that was my conspiracy is that they let the market run exactly as he's saying, and then once they know, okay, no, the Bitcoin's price is exactly gonna go to that area end of the month, so everybody's just gonna go in and leverage and everything. And I told them, but what if they just playing with you guys, and that 1 month they just go against the market and then just takes everybody's money? And then it actually happened. And I'm not like now, yeah, guys, I'm the smartest guy and I know what I'm talking about. It's just something to think about. And now at the current stage we are at now, and this is bullish from Donnie. You can pay me for this word I'm gonna say now. If everybody says the same thing, most of the time it's gonna go the different direction. Most of the time. And exactly that I told you guys right now, everybody said 100K, 100K, and then it went opposite direction. And everybody is saying we're going now to 28K, and maybe 22, and maybe it's going to go the different direction because everybody can't make money. Like 90% of the retailers lose money actually. And even these institutions are trading against each other. So maybe we won't see that low, but my 618 always gets tested, but maybe we won't see that low everybody's waiting for. And something I want to show you guys that is really bullish, I think is really bullish. And this is just the same fibs I had here. This was in 2017, and I just have some fibs at the top here, and you can see there, we went to that 2 area, just above that 2 area, and then we had a low and what, and now at the current stage, and that was, we went to the 618 area and even to the 786 area, which is really low, and then we went to the 2 area on the fib tool. And now you can see, maybe if we go to this area, which I would be really glad, what is the price targets for that 2 area? That's $200,000 Bitcoin. That's crazy, guys. And yeah, this is gonna be nothing if we get to that. What's the small dip? Yeah, that's what I wanted to say, guys. Yeah, emotions. It's a crazy thing.
Cool. Thank you, Andre. Yes, yeah, I think I should not say something here now. Marius, last thoughts from you for the evening.
Yes, Daniel, I can just conclude what Jason said. If in doubt, zoom out. I always have a long-term view of crypto, and I know we are still bullish, and I know eventually we will get to the high highs. Just keep on keeping on.
Cool. Thank you, Marius. Appreciate that. Jason, last thoughts from our subject matter expert on crypto trading at the Crypto School.
Thanks, Donnie. We got 9 minutes, and I'm going to go into load shedding. But I just want to reflect on the Wall Street cheat sheet just to show you where we are now. We've seen an accelerated move to the downside in the last 5 days. 5 days ago, we were at 40. We're down now at 31. You can see how these candles started dropping very, very quickly. And this normally represents capitulation, where we are now going on to a area on the Wall Street cheat sheet where we're down in this area, panic selling. So we normally have a bit of a relief bounce and then sideways and then start moving up again. So I think we're very close, as I said to you, very close to the bottom here, and expectation of a relief bounce very, very shortly.
Yes, Jason, I want to concur and agree with you with regards to the capitulation. I spoke to a few people last week and today as well, and people that's been holding portfolios for long term, they never worried about the price now. We buy, this is our long-term portfolio. Never ever, they didn't worry what was the entries into the coins. They just bought that because it's a long-term portfolio, and all of a sudden they now capitulate. And some of them capitulated last week already, and some of them are capitulated this morning, and some of them are on the verge of capitulation. And that's the worst place that you can ever be, is to be at capitulation. And we just should stick in there. It is now what it is. You cannot do anything about that. As Andre said earlier, you cannot catch a falling knife. And if you go look at the market at the moment, remember Jason always teaches us, the bulls climb the steps and the bears jump out the window. And frick it, we've seen the bears jump out the window. And on my Bitcoin chart, I had a nice trend line, and Bitcoin broke out of that trend line, and that support on that trend line became resistance, and it came back to test it again, and now it's just going in free fall away from that trend line that I had there. So my whole trend line, my whole idea is gone, and we just start again. All I do is I go delete that, and I start with a new Bitcoin chart. I have that as a challenge. I now, Jason, Andre, Marius, I have an empty Bitcoin chart when I go back to TradingView, because I have to go remove those trend lines that I had in there that we followed for a serious amount of time. But I have a blank page. I can now go recreate, and I can go pull in one or two of the things that Andre shared with us tonight to go Zeus up my Bitcoin chart again and give me hope. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being on the call. It's our privilege at the Crypto School serving you. And we really love doing what we're doing. Sometimes love hurts. And I know I should not sing that song now, because I'm going to get some angry faces on the chat box. But yes, we love what we do. Sometimes love hurts. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, have a good one. And we trust that somewhere in there, we're going to find some green candles. Have a blessed one. Cheers.